Guys, this is Maunika. Welcome to my channel Law Learner. In this video, we will discuss about the object extent and scope of CrPC. So guys, why we have to study CrPC for the judiciary? What is the importance of CrPC? In prelims, a good chunk of questions from this CRPC area, and in mains, 40% paper depends upon the criminal law. Without CRPC knowledge, we even can't write the judgment writing. In interview also, core areas of recent developments questions will be asked. So everyone who are studying and preparing for the judiciary have to more focus on this CRPC subject. Now we will discuss the jurisprudential essence and constitutional essence of CRPC. No law can be against to the principles of the Constitution, and no law be the otherwise to the provisions of the Constitution. Every law has to adhere to the basic principles of Constitution. The main purpose of CRPC is to serve the societal interest by curbing the individual interest. CRPC made certain safeguards that the procedure must be fair, just, reasonable and non-arbitrariness, as we in the case of D.K. Basu versus State of West Bengal. The principles of natural justice such as fairness, reasonableness, non-arbitrariness cannot be violated. It has been held in Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India 1978. In this case, that the procedure under Article 21 has to be reasonable, just, fair and non-arbitrary. The individual curtailment is permitted in CRPC if the said curtailment has to adhere to the above principles that are the procedure must be just, reasonable, fair and non-arbitrary. The main purpose of CRPC is balancing the interest between individual and society. CRPC to attain the societal interest, individual interest can be curtailed. It is permissible under Article 21 that the procedure must be reasonable, fair, just and non-arbitrary. And CRPC sticks to the principle of odi alteram patent, which means let the other side be heard as well, and the nemo judex, which are the Latin terms which means right against biasness. It sticks to these both principles. CRPC is a procedure law. Even though it is a procedural law, but there are certain laws which are substantive in nature. Right to maintenance was incorporated in CRPC under section 125 to 128 in criminal law to ensure speedy justice and to allow the benefit of speedy procedure. These are the constitutional and jurisprudential essence of CRPC. Now we will go through the history of CRPC, how the CRPC came into existence. In 1860, Substantive Penal Law, now it is called IPC, came into force on 1861. Britishers also brought procedural criminal law in 1862. These could not work for a long time. Then in 1882 they came with another amendment, but it is also not there. It is revamped. In 1898, the first problem is there is no separation between the executive and the judiciary. In 1973, 24th April, which changed the concept of liberty. In the case of Kesavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala, states that no person can take away the basic ingredients from the constitution to change its identity. Means no one can change its basic identity. The court held that justness, fairness, reasonableness, non-arbitrariness are the part of basic structure. Kesavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala case is about the basic structure of constitution. No one can take away the basic principles of constitution. And drafting of CRPC on 1973. Its enactment on 25th Jan 1974. The enactment of CRPC in all views of Kesavananda Bharati case. CRPC came into force on 1st April 1974. These are very important for the prelims. You have to focus on these areas. Important question is whether CRPC is exhaustive or not. In prelims, it is exhaustive because the word consolidate is exhaustive. Then the question is, As the new laws arise, then the how CRPC is exhaustive. The amendments of 1862, 1882, 1898 changed considerable amount and they made it more justice oriented. In previous, there is no remedy to victim in original CRPC, only thought of giving punishment. But later, victim compensation introduced as new laws are arise. When the society is undergoing a striking change, then CRPC also undergone a striking change to make it more justice oriented. In reality, CRPC is not exhaustive. This act has more. In prelims, CRPC is exhaustive is the most important repeated question. So everyone has to focus on this bit. And next, section 1 of the CRPC tells about the name of the Act CRPC 1973. It extends to the whole of India, also to the Jammu and Kashmir. After the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act, the CRPC applies to all, even though Jammu and Kashmir also. Prior to this Reorganization Act, all criminal cases of the Jammu and Kashmir areas dealt with Jammu Kashmir State CRPC. CRPC shall not apply to the state of tribal areas and Nagaland. Only provisions of Chapter 8, 10, 11 of CRPC are applicable to Nagaland and other tribal areas. Chapter 8 tells about the security for peace and Chapter 10 tells about the maintain public tranquility and Chapter 11 tells about the prevent to arrest. For these areas, these provisions only applicable for preventing the crime and to secure them. So guys, these are the object and scope of the CRPC. In next class, we will discuss about the further topics in CRPC. Thank you. Subscribe my channel. Thank you all.